Chapter 741. Assault from Two Paths. Tyrannical Ambition's chief knight charged forward and the battle for the boss officially began. Zhang Jinji had personally arranged everyone's position. The boss itself was secondary. The primary battle would be against the other competing guilds, especially Yi Chu's forces, which were of the utmost priority. The first opponent that Zhang Jinji would meet would be his most troublesome foe, Yi Chu, but rather Blue Brook Guild. Changing Spring, Blue Bridge Spring Snow, Ice of Dawn, Chilling Nightfall, and Flying Brushstroke. All of Blue Brook Guild's 5 great experts had come out for this battle. Important battles such as competitions for level 70 wild bosses were naturally the highest stage for these in-game experts to stand on. However, the star of Blue Brook Guild wasn't any of these 5 today. Flowing Cloud. Zhang Jinji noticed this blade master. In their struggle for Red Ribbon Jana, the one to enrage the boss and turn the tides was actually this fellow. But rather than turning the tides in Blue Brook Guild's favor, he created an opportunity for Yi Chu. He was most definitely one of those sh*t sticks whose job was to stir sh*t up. This fellow's individual skill was certainly outstanding though. Zhang Jinji couldn't help but regard him as a ticking time bomb. That time, there had only been one small crack in their defense and that little ghost happened to find it. By the time they tried to respond, it was already too late. It wasn't Zhang Jinji being too slow to react, but rather Tyrannical Ambition was unable to carry out his orders quickly enough. No matter how outstanding a commander was, if his subordinates couldn't carry out his instructions, it was difficult to be effective. This time, he wouldn't allow this little punk burrow into an opening. When Flowing Cloud appeared, Zhang Jinji took notice. In his eyes, he was perhaps the only threat that Blue Brook Guild posed to him. Group 1, Team 4, Team 5. Group 2, Team 4, Team 5. Prepare to engage with Blue Brook Guild, Zhang Jinji ordered. Tyrannical Ambition took the initiative to strike. Both Team 4s had been positioned towards Blue Brook Guild's direction according to previous intelligence, so attacking Blue Brook Guild was very convenient for them. Everyone had come here with confidence in their skill and it didn't seem like they would need to do much thinking. Blue Brook Guild didn't seem to be certain about what they planning on doing, when Tyrannical Ambition suddenly attacked. "Ah! They're coming," Lu Hanwen cried out in astonishment. Flowing Cloud unsheathed his sword. Zhang Jinji headed Tyrannical Ambition. Changing Spring obviously knew about this piece of information, but it wasn't like he could just give up on such an important battle. No matter how difficult the battle would be, he could only face the challenge head-on. Changing Spring started taking notice. If Zhang Jinji continued to support Tyrannical Ambition in this way, he might need to ask the club for help. There was no hope of him beating Zhang Jinji. If he could topple Zhang Jinji, he would be leading the pro team, not just the guild. Long range, attack. Melee, push. Even push. Changing Spring only typed 6 words. His dislike for typing really made those under him curse silently. If a new person joined them, they probably wouldn't understand his instructions. However, everyone here was a part of the elite group. They understood Changing Spring's short instructions very well. In this way, Blue Brook Guild's elite group would be more efficient in battle because the commander didn't need to spend as much time typing out his orders. Blue Brook Guild's forces pushed forward. Flowing Cloud led the troops. His dazzling swordplay sliced apart Tyrannical Ambition's forces. However, when he looked ahead, Lu Hanwen noticed several knights facing him. Not good, Lu Hanwen could feel an ominous premonition creeping up in his mind. It had only been 2 hours ago that a bunch of knights had toyed with him. His Flowing Cloud still hadn't recovered all of its lost experience. His stats were still red. Lu Hanwen immediately maintained his distance from those knights, but it was too late. An enemy knight activated Knight Spirit and used Roar. Its range was sufficient to reach Flowing Cloud. Flowing Cloud turned around and charged towards the knight. He didn't learn his lesson well enough. He had been too rash. Lu Hanwen scolded himself, while hastily calling out for help. Situation. What situation? Changing Spring was puzzled at the message. Blue River, who had fought with Lu Hanwen not long before, seemed to have telepathic powers and shouted, "Not good. Hurry up and find a knight and Chi master." He must have been roared away. Blue River wasn't wrong, but their rescue arrangements came too slowly. Under Zhang Jinji's personal command, these tyrannical ambition knights worked together to bring Lu Hanwen's flowing cloud farther and farther away. Lu Hanwen was helpless. He could still use a technique like shadow steps while taunted, but it wouldn't help him in any way. Roar forced his real body to move. The rescue that Lu Hanwen had hoped for never came. Zhang Jinji had made prior preparations and stopped any attempts at a rescue. Afterwards, Lu Hanwen's flowing cloud was quickly killed. This was the difference between this time's experience and last time's experience. Last time, he had been restricted to walking along with them. This time, he was immediately killed at the fastest speed possible. More enemies meant more danger, especially with a god leading them. 2 minutes after the two guilds clashed, Blue Brook Guild's strongest player fell. I charged forward too quickly. Lu Hanwen had flowing cloud revive in the city and typed an ashamed emoji in the guild chat, as if to explain what had happened. No worries, Changing Spring replied. He even added an exclamation mark. Yes. I'm on my way back, Lu Hanwen shouted. Changing Spring laughed bitterly. By the time Lu Hanwen came back, what would Blue Brook Guild's situation be like? Would they already be beaten into a sorry state? It was too difficult to expect his players to have the confidence to face a god. Changing Spring continued to lead his troops. Under the cover of their long-ranged attackers, Blue Brook Guild slowly advanced. Tyrannical ambition was being pushed back. It seemed like their defense wasn't able to hold on. It looked as if Blue Brook Guild's forward push was going smoothly. Unfortunately, everything was a facade. Just when Blue Brook Guild was thinking their push was going well, tyrannical ambition suddenly countered with a powerful rebound like a compressed spring. Once they were pushed to their limit, they suddenly shot forward. The tide-like counterattack turned Blue Brook Guild stupid. None of their troops had made any sort of preparation for such a strong rebound, whether that was in tactics or mentally. If Blue Brook Guild had advanced 4 coordinates, after this counterattack, tyrannical ambition repelled them 6 coordinates back. Casualties? Dropped equipment? Their losses couldn't be totaled at this moment, but they wouldn't be small. Changing Spring sighed. He wasn't sighing at Blue Brook Guild losing morale. Facing Zhang Jinji and the elite troops that he led, he wasn't surprised that such losses would be the result. At this moment, the two guilds both received new information. Heavenly Justice, Conquering Clouds, Radiant, and Parade were closing in. If this were before, no one would have cared about these 4 guilds, but now, when they heard the names of these 4 guilds, no one could avoid their heads going numb. Zhang Jinji immediately inquired for any information. No guild dared to underestimate them. The reports indicated that the 4 guilds had split into 2. Heavenly Justice and Conquering Clouds along one path. Radiant and Parade along another. The 2 paths would converge towards Midnight Tavern. Split into 2 groups, Zhang Jinji thought to himself. Afterwards, he asked, which path did Yi Chu take? We haven't seen Enlightened Lord. That was the answer given. It hid a hint. The person only said that he hadn't seen Enlightened Lord, but not that Yi Chu wasn't there. Yi Chu could switch accounts. Everyone knew he could do this, because they always made it their priority to kill him. He doesn't want us to know where their main defenses are, Zhang Jinji said, but he must be on one side. Zhang Jinji quickly deployed troops and made arrangements according to the paths those 4 guilds took. He didn't put an emphasis on either side though. He arranged several flexible teams. These teams could attack the boss to gain some contribution towards winning the boss's aggro. A gap was reserved between the 2 sides. When things became dire, these flexible teams could quickly turn around and patch up any holes. There's no need to be too worried about either side. After Zhang Jinji made arrangements, he examined the entire battlefield carefully and felt very satisfied. As for Blue Brook Guild, once they received the news, they made a strategic withdrawal. Blue Brook Guild didn't have the confidence to directly confront either of the 2 gods. Their only chance was to watch these 2 tigers battle and see if there were any opening they could take advantage of. They're here. Zhang Yu received another report and passed it on to Zhang Jinji. Everyone could already see the 2 armies coming from 2 directions. Prepare to clash. Don't be polite. The faster we can determine where Yi Chu is located, the faster we can formulate countermeasures, Zhang Jinji said. Samsara has almost arrived too, Zhang Yu said. Okay, understood, Zhang Jinji nodded his head. No matter how small, he would take everything into consideration. It was his style of doing things. However, everything that had happened so far was within his expectations. What if something unexpected occurred? Heavenly justice, conquering clouds, radiant, parade. The four Guild Alliance troops soon arrived. They made a few slight adjustments and directly threw themselves into the fray. Block them, Zhang Jinji ordered. The two sides clashed. We're in danger on this side. The troops on the right side reported first. Zhang Jinji smiled and waved his hands. Flexible teams, assist the right side. The flexible team stopped attacking the boss and began peeking. According to their previous arrangements, they immediately shifted to assist the right side. Zhang Jinji's smile persisted for only a second, when the left side reported, danger. Danger. What happened? Zhang Jinji was startled. An expert. Expert. The players on the left side cried. Chapter 742. Left path, right path. Expert? Zhang Jinji was surprised. The enemy troops did have a few fairly skilled elite players, but Zhang Jinji had factored them into his calculations when he arranged his troops. His progressively decreasing defensive formation shouldn't be so easily routed by just a few elite players. The right path was being led by Yi Chu. Having a difficult time holding off the enemy troops on that side would be understandable, but what expert on the left side could instantly break through their defenses? Zhang Jinji had originally planned on going to the right side to personally confront Yi Chu. After a short moment of hesitation, he led his Misty Mountains to the left path. The defenses on the left path had already fallen apart. Zhang Jinji took in everything within his line of sight and then quickly looked around. His gaze moved in a certain direction. Zhang Jinji felt a bit dazed. Was this the game or the alliance? Was he dreaming? What was today's date? Zhang Jinji actually checked the date, the year, the month, and the day. He ascertained that his eyes hadn't gone astray. Today wasn't the date of a professional match. Even if it were, the scene in front of him shouldn't feel so familiar. The two characters in front of him had unfamiliar names and different equipment, but their two figures matched up with the image in Zhang Jinji's mind. One Autumn Leaf. Dancing Rain. Glory's best pair. Despite not winning the Glory Championships, these two always won this award without any competition. Other teams also had their own duos. These duos might be outstanding, but they were all completely outclassed in front of this duo. Every time the selection for the best pair came up, a few might be able to obtain a few votes, but it was never even a contest. The closest competitor was Team Void's Ghostblade duo, Li Zan and Wu Yus, but their total votes never exceeded half of the votes that Yi Chu and Su Mucheng received. And they were already the closest. Zhang Jinji's impression of this duo might be deeper than any other player. Because Team Excellent Era was Team Tyranny's rival. In the first 3 years of the Glory Alliance, the two teams faced each other in the finals all 3 times. The Season 2 finals had been the most competitive. Unfortunately, Team Tyranny lost all 3 times and Team Excellent Era had the last laugh for 3 years in a row. Team Excellent Era's 3 consecutive championship victories was the darkest part of Team Tyranny's history. Zhang Jinji came to Team Tyranny in Season 4. He quickly accepted Team Tyranny's motto, advance bravely. Beat Excellent Era and defeat Yi Chu. That year, they finally did it. In the Season 4 finals, Team Tyranny beat Excellent Era. Zhang Jinji had definitely been one of the main reasons for their victory. That year, a new player also came to Excellent Era. She and Zhang Jinji both became a part of the so-called Golden Generation. Her name was Su Mucheng. A girl, and very beautiful one too. In the male-dominated glory scene, she was certainly a welcome sight. What made everyone's eyes light up even more was that this beautiful girl wasn't just a flower vase. The synergy between her and Excellent Era's god Yi Chu was as if the two shared the same mind. Team Tyranny may have won the championships, but the best pair was awarded indisputably to these two. As for Team Tyranny, although Zhang Jinji and their ace player, Han Wenqing, coordinated well with each other, clerics played a support role on the team, limiting their scenes shown together. As a result, it appeared as if they had fewer moments of brilliance. For the next 3 years, Zhang Jinji saw these two win the Best Pair award again and again. Team Excellent Era was Team Tyranny's rival. Even though neither of them appeared in the finals again since that season, the sparks between them never lessened. Who could have a deeper impression of this Excellent Era duo than Zhang Jinji? Not even Han Wenqing did. After all, Han Wenqing had fought against Yi Chu alone during the first 3 finals. Even after Yi Chu and Su Mucheng paired together, Han Wenqing still attached more importance on Yi Chu. Ever since Zhang Jinji had entered the alliance, the foe he worked hardest to defeat was these two. Losing to them was even worse than losing 10 other matches for Team Tyranny. He had an extremely deep impression of them. Zhang Jinji didn't know how long he had spent studying these two. As a result, although it may have just been a glance, he felt a sense of familiarity. In the blink of an eye, One Autumn Leaf and Dancing Rain appeared in his mind. He soon cleared his mind and saw that this battle mage was called Let There Be Light, while the launcher was called Chasing Haze. Chasing Haze. As Yi Chu had begun to receive all sorts of attention, this name came up frequently from the big guilds. There had been a lot of debate over who actually played this launcher. However, her relationship with Yi Chu wasn't shallow. This was the one point everyone agreed on. Who was she? Zhang Jinji had always suspected. He soon got his answer 10 seconds later. Su Mucheng. The person playing was definitely Su Mucheng. And that Let There Be Light must be Yi Chu. 10 seconds was more than enough to make a definite conclusion. Don't forget that these two had won Best Pair 4 years in a row and that they beat their closest competitor by enormous margins. If they weren't so unique and unmatched, how else could they have won the award year after year? Their coordination together couldn't be replicated. Even though One Autumn Leaf was still a part of Excellent Era and the one behind the character, Sun Shang, was also a top-tier god, there was zero synergy between him and Su Mucheng. In these 10 seconds, Zhang Jinji was certain that these two were Yi Chu and Su Mucheng. There was no mistake. The battle mage charged forward while the launcher provided support. The coordination between these two was the same as ever. No matter how bad Excellent Era's records may be, these two had never changed. Even though Yi Chu had left the pro scene for 7 months now, when the two appeared together on the battlefield again, Zhang Jinji felt like nothing had changed. This was why he checked the data. Flex team, to the left, Zhang Jinji decisively ordered. If Yi Chu was on this side with Su Mucheng assisting him, this side should be where he should emphasize all his defenses towards. What was going on with the right side though? Maybe Yi Chu had guessed what he might set up, so he had formulated a counter for it. Did he want to use the brief advantage seized to decide the entire battle? However, there was still time to adjust. Zhang Jinji was confident. He had come with Tyrannical Ambition's elite troops this time. Their coordination and strength were better than the temporary team that he had come with last time. When he switched which side the flex teams would support, he had explained his actions to the right side. He believed that these in-game players wouldn't make any huge mistakes. Pull back, Zhang Jinji ordered. Even though he found which side he should prioritize, he couldn't just ignore the right side. To what extent had Yi Chu planned ahead? Zhang Jinji couldn't wait to see. He decided that both sides should pull back, so he could get a better picture of the situation and command both sides at the same time. Clerics, focus. Knights, forward. Use Provoke and Roar to CC Let There Be Light and Chasing Haze. Troops, go between these two and attack. Try and split them up. Focus your attacks on Chasing Haze for now. Chi Masters, use Cloud Grasping Fist whenever you find an opportunity. Zhang Jinji gave a string of orders, completely towards these two. He had to admit that this best pair was scary, but Zhang Jinji was sure that he could deal with this pair, which he understood well. If it wasn't for the enemy side having a lot of troops as well, Zhang Jinji wouldn't feel like this best pair would be a threat. Right side, continue pulling back a bit more. Flex Team 1, Team 2 provide assistance on this side. Disrupt their attacks from the side. Zhang Jinji paid attention to the left side, while also taking note of the right side. Flex Team 1 and 2 faithfully completed his instructions and struck from the side. The effects were outstanding. A tear instantly formed in the enemy troops. It looked as if they would break. The two team leaders were excited. They planned on penetrating deeper and completely splitting apart their troops. Zhang Jinji saw the positions of their troops after being split apart and suddenly felt his heart leap. Team 1, Team 2, retreat. Don't go any farther, Zhang Jinji hastily shouted. But he was too late. The two team leaders impatiently charged in. When they received Zhang Jinji's warning, they didn't dare to hesitate and immediately retreated, but the other side's ruptured formation suddenly snapped back like a pair of scissors, pincering them. The players, who had been scattered, returned to attack, giving the two teams a difficult time. Fortunately, Zhang Jinji's warning had put them into a retreat already. If they had gone any deeper, they would have certainly been wiped out. Even so, Team 2 lost 6 players and Team 1 was practically destroyed. How did things turn out like this? Zhang Jinji was astonished. His move to attack from the side had been a decision based on the current situation of the battle. No matter how great Yi Chu might be, there was no way he could have predicted so precisely that this battle would turn out this way. The other side had clearly lured them in deep. That was a very fast and directed reaction. It wasn't something an in-game player could easily accomplish. A normal player might be able to react based on the current circumstances, but such a quick countermeasure and such adept awareness was something only a professional player possessed. At this moment, Zhang Jinji saw a mechanic on the right side. His equipment might be poor, but he was very skilled. Anyone with some skill could instantly tell him apart from the rest of the troops. This person wasn't only attacking. He would fight and then stop to move a few steps from time to time. The places where he moved to were places where he could see the battlefield. Mechanic. It can't be? Zhang Jinji suddenly felt his head begin to hurt. Chapter 743. Complete Defense. Xiao Shikan. Zhang Jinji instantly thought of this name. But why would he be with Yi Chu? Zhang Jinji felt a bit dizzy. No one could have anticipated this. Zhang Jinji didn't want to believe his suspicion, but as he continued to watch the mechanic and command his troops on this side, he couldn't help but become more certain. His countermeasures were being casually dissolved by the other side. Their defenses were being scattered. Xiao Shikan wasn't better than Zhang Jinji, but Zhang Jinji had prioritized his defenses towards the left path, where Yi Chu and Su Mucheng were located. Zhang Jinji now understood why the enemy split their troops. The enemy wasn't trying to play any tricks. Both paths were solid and required his full attention to answer to. However, he was either emphasizing the defenses on the left path and not taking care of the right path, or emphasizing the defenses on the right path and not taking care of the left path. Retreat. Everyone on the left and right sides, retreat. Zhang Jinji could only retreat. He needed to be able to see both sides at the same time. Yi Chu and Xiao Shikan weren't opponents that he could contend against by running back and forth between the left and right side. As his troops withdrew, he had the team attacking the boss move away, so the enemy troops would move in a desired direction. By moving everyone together to the same place, he could give out orders to his troops in one go. The situation was stabilized. Zhang Jinji let out a short sigh of relief. He wasn't glad that his commands were on point, but rather that the troops being led weren't just temporary troops. Tyrannical Ambition's elite troops were superior to the Four Guild Alliance's troops. Relying on this advantage, Zhang Jinji temporarily stabilized the situation. However, this didn't mean the situation was in his favor. In reality, Tyrannical Ambition was in a terrible spot. Zhang Jinji's original plans had been completely disrupted. The rearranging of his troops was proof of that. They actually stopped us. Xiao Shikan was very surprised. The enemy guild seemed to know exactly when to retreat and when to advance. Wasn't their enemy commander a bit too skilled? Could it be? Who's leading Tyrannical Ambition? Xiao Shikan couldn't help but ask. Zhang Jinji. Who else? Yi Shu replied. Xiao Shikan suddenly felt dizzy. He had been busy these past few days dealing with his transfer to the club and team circumstances. How could he know that there was such a storm taking place in the game? Tyrannical Ambition actually sent Zhang Jinji out to personally take command. No wonder Yi Chu wanted him to help out. If he didn't help, Tyrannical Ambition wouldn't be easy for Yi Chu to deal with. Who was Xiao Shikan? After a few exchanges, he had a good estimate of both sides' strengths. In terms of strategy and tactics, both sides were equally matched, but in terms of average strength, Tyrannical Ambition's elite troops were clearly a step higher than the Four Guild Alliances. The reason why Tyrannical Ambition couldn't respond, when they attacked from the left and right paths, was because Zhang Jinji had purposefully been drawn to protect the side that Yi Chu was on, so he hadn't placed as much importance on the other side. Zhang Jinji had probably realized it now though. He adjusted his troops and retreated promptly. Neither side would be able to win an advantage in just a short amount of time. Their side had two gods leading. By dividing up the work, their tactics would be more detailed and meticulous. However, Tyrannical Ambition's troops were stronger than theirs. By using this advantage, Zhang Jinji would be capable of holding them off. If the two fought head-to-head, Xiao Shiken felt like they would eventually win because he knew that he and Yi Chu wouldn't have their troops directly clash with the stronger tyrannical ambition. They would certainly utilize their greater flexibility in terms of tactics to force Zhang Jinji into dire straits. However, this problem was that this wasn't a PK to the death. Both sides came for the boss. As long as Zhang Jinji could maintain the current situation and kill the boss, victory would be decided. Xiao Shiken quickly saw through what Zhang Jinji had intended by having tyrannical ambition retreat. Everyone would be on the defense. Their goal was to stall for time. Xiao Shiken felt like winning would truly be difficult. Xiao Shiken had a deep understanding of defensive tactics. He had come from a middle-of-the-pack team, so he rarely took the initiative against stronger teams. Defend and counterattack. Strike only after the enemy has struck. These were the methods that Xiao Shiken had relied on for so many years. However, he knew very well that the reason he employed these tactics was because his team's circumstances forced him to. Zhang Jinji was truly talented at defensive tactics. Perhaps it had to do with his personality. However, what made things conflicting was that Team Tyranny pursued fierce assaults and emphasized a strong offense. Attacking was the best defense. These words couldn't suit Team Tyranny any better. As a result, Zhang Jinji's greatest strength was never fully utilized. Even so, Zhang Jinji's talent for defensive tactics never faded. Xiao Shiken looked at Zhang Jinji's defensive formation and immediately felt troubled. It wasn't like he had no confidence in winning. After all, he had God Yi Chu on his side too. He worried that by the time they managed to break through Zhang Jinji's defenses, the boss might already be dead. Tisk. How should he go about doing this? Studying tactics was Xiao Shiken's specialty. He had relied on tactics to obtain victory these past few years. He immediately began thinking of possible countermeasures. After about 2 seconds, he suddenly realized that something wasn't right. Why did he need to try so hard? His goal was to observe Yi Chu's team and measure each player's skill level. Why was he so concerned about winning the boss? As long as he didn't command his assigned troops too poorly, it would be fine. Figuring out a countermeasure should be left for Yi Chu to mull over. Why was he overthinking things? Xiao Shiken reminded himself fiercely. Afterwards, he searched for steamed bun. At the same time, he realized that Zhang Jinji had put himself in an advantageous situation. Splitting their troops into two made it difficult for him to observe Yi Chu's people. However, tyrannical ambition grouped together and moved everyone to one place, making it convenient for him to obtain more information. Right, obtain information. Xiao Shiken confirmed his point of view. Zhang Jinji had created a good opportunity for him to obtain information. His defenses distributed every class into appropriate locations, so all angles could be covered. Some players were placed in fixed locations, while others constantly moved, providing assistance where needed. That's not right. That side has an opening. Hurry up and attack over there. It's been filled up. Zhang Jinji was worthy of his reputation. The tyrannical ambition players over there probably weren't paying too much attention to their positions and had made a slight mistake. That side. Tyrannical ambition retreated a bit too far. Their side could take advantage and push forward. They were a bit far though and might not make it in time. The troops on Yi Chu's side should go. They were closer. Xiao Shiken wanted to message Yi Chu, but just when he typed out the words, he suddenly stopped and felt like crying. What's going on with me? Why am I still studying on how to break Zhang Jinji's defenses? His habit of looking at the enemy side's tactics and forming his own tactics was like a conditioned reflex now. Information. Pay attention to finding information. Xiao Shiken thought to himself as he noticed Yi Chu order two teams to move. Yi Chu's Let There Be Light led the way towards the location, where tyrannical ambition had pulled back slightly too far. They were a bit too far too. Zhang Jinji has probably noticed it by now? Sure enough. Xiao Shiken watched that side attentively. The opening was suddenly patched up. Zhang Jinji clearly hadn't been trying to set up a trap. After all, despite being elite troops, those elite players were still far from being at a professional level. Even more so, tactics required practice to carry out. Zhang Jinji arranged his troops, taking these normal players' skill levels into consideration. However, it was still extremely hard to avoid mistakes. Zhang Jinji could correct these mistakes though. Two openings appeared, but were quickly fixed. The situation went just as Xiao Shikan predicted. Both sides were in a deadlock. Although their side held the initiative, Zhang Jinji had intentionally put his side on the defensive in order to stall for more time. Xiao Shikan glanced at Yichu's expression. Yichu didn't seem to be worried at all though. Could he have some way of breaking through? How come I can't see any? Xiao Shikan, who put it as his priority to collect enemy information, accidentally started to think about tactics again. On Tyrannical Ambition's side, Zhang Jinji was quite satisfied with the current situation. Zhang Yu reported to him at this moment, Samsara's elite troops have arrived. Got it, Zhang Jinji nodded his head. Another guild joining the struggle for the boss was within his expectations and he had already prepared for it. This wouldn't break their deadlock. Samsara had naturally sent out their two elite groups. Their team had become the new champions and shone boundlessly. However, their guild couldn't match their team's achievements. Disappointment filled the guild. The guild leader 3 Paths 6 Realms had trouble upkeeping his honor. He called over the second elite group leader to his side. This person hadn't been a part of the guild for very long and couldn't be a core member of the guild yet. However, this person was skilled and a very talented commander. Unfortunately, Yi Chu and Zhang Jinji were their opponents. 3 Paths 6 Realms really wanted to cry. He was pretty much trying to give medicine to a dead horse at this point. This second group leader saw the current situation and said excitedly to 3 Paths 6 Realms, "Those two guilds are fighting fiercely. This is our chance." "Oh, what do you mean?" 3 Paths 6 Realms asked humbly. Don't look at how this person had been promoted to the second group leader position. The two weren't familiar when discussing serious matters. Tyrannical Ambition is completely on the defensive. They are clearly struggling to stand up to the other side's pressure. If we suddenly attack, we'll instantly break through. Then, we can surround the boss and move the boss away, while attacking it. Those two sides seem to have exhausted their strength already. Even a god leading them won't be enough. It can't be as easy as you say though, can it? 3 Realms 6 Paths said. If we don't try, how will we know? The second group leader appeared extremely confident. Chapter 744. 3 Opponents. Samsara's second elite group leader was of course, Wei Chen. After he said those words, everyone in Samsara raised their eyebrows. Who were their opponents? Zhang Jinji and Yi Chu, 2 of Glory's master tacticians. Even so, he dared to boast about his ability to command in front of them. Not only did no one in Samsara feel confident, they also started to doubt Wei Chen. Quite a few players didn't give him any face and typed a sweating face emoji into the team chat. Wei Chen may be the second elite group leader, but his position in Samsara wasn't actually that high, especially among the elites. Anyone with talent would be used to their full ability, but becoming a true elite required loyalty and trust. A newcomer couldn't gain trust in such a short amount of time. Their doubt towards Wei Chen made him feel gloomy. Everyone felt like he was just speaking big words. However, Wei Chen didn't think so. Not only did he not think that his words were ridiculous, he thought he had a 70% chance of turning them into a reality. If we don't try, how will we know? Wei Chen even thought that he had been more on the modest side. Who was he? He saw the opposing sides and instantly analyzed the situation and the stakes involved. If Samsara helped Yishu's side, breaking through Tyrannical Ambition's defenses wouldn't be a problem at all. After Tyrannical Ambition set up defenses against Yishu's 4-guild alliance, they had also made sufficient preparations for any following guilds. That was only the case for normal players though. In Wei Chen's eyes, the amount of strength dedicated to defend against other guilds was nothing to look at. In fact, Wei Chen was 100% sure of being able to break through Tyrannical Ambition's defenses. However, if he appeared so certain, Samsara probably wouldn't believe him. After all, in their eyes, their opponents were way too powerful. Wei Chen had already held back in his speech, yet who would have thought that Samsara still wouldn't believe him? There weren't too many boos, but many disapproved. Their attitudes could be seen above their heads. Weren't they overreacting? I really am too skilled to be a spy. Wei Chen sighed. He might as well continue with his overconfident attitude. What? You don't believe me? Zhang Jinji and Yi Chu are evenly matched in tactics. However, Tyrannical Ambition's overall strength is greater than the 4 guild alliances. In a one-on-one battle, tyrannical ambition doesn't need to be on the defensive. Something unexpected must have come up for tyrannical ambition to be on their back foot. Right now is the perfect time to fish in troubled waters. If you guys insist on waiting for one side to beat the other before acting, don't blame me for being too blunt. Whether Zhang Jinji or Yi Chu wins, without an evenly matched opponent restricting the other, how will we manage to beat them? Wei Chen was reasonable. It didn't sound like he was being brainlessly overconfident. Everyone fell silent. No one randomly complained. If we're going to act, then we must do it before it's too late. Tyrannical ambition isn't trying to beat Yi Chu's side right now. Zhang Jinji is only trying to stall for time, so they can kill the boss before their defense gets broken through. The more we watch from the sidelines, the happier he will be. We're actually a bit late already. If we wait any longer, how are we going to generate enough aggro to steal the boss? Wei Chen followed. In the end, Samsara's guild leader, 3 Realms 6 Paths couldn't hold back anymore. They weren't here to watch a movie. Their goal was the boss. At this moment, Wei Chen added, "We're a championship team's guild. Don't you guys have any pride?" These words struck 3 Realms 6 Paths' wound. Guild Samsara's recent achievements were quite shameful for a championship team's guild. 3 Realms 6 Paths couldn't calmly continue pondering. They were already here. Dawdling around was truly a bit disgraceful. I'll lead Group 1. Sky will lead Group 2. Everyone, get ready, 3 Realms 6 Paths ordered. Wei Chen's spy warlock was called Skytrip. 3 Realms was letting Wei Chen command or telling the second elite group to listen to Wei Chen. I'll lead the second group to tear open tyrannical ambition's defenses. Your first group will trap the boss and lead it away, Wei Chen said. Okay, 3 Realms 6 Paths agreed. A boss's aggro was generated group by group, not by guild. As a result, between the first and second group, only one group could hold the aggro. Leaving the aggro with his group put him more at ease. Samsara, our team is the championship team. Show some spirit. Everyone, advance, 3 Realms 6 Paths roared and Samsara charged forward. Samsara's coming. Zhang Yu had been hoping that Samsara would be like Blue Brook Guild and keep watching foolishly, but not long after arriving, they charged over murderously. He hastily reminded Zhang Jinji, so he wouldn't forget. I see them, Zhang Jinji replied plainly. The current situation, as well as the progress on the boss, was going very well. Just Samsara alone wouldn't be enough to tip the balance. However, he couldn't completely ignore them either. Zhang Jinji turned his gaze towards Samsara and adjusted his troops slightly. Against Yi Chu and Xiao Shikan, 2 troublesome opponents, he couldn't spend too much time dealing with Samsara. Just when he finished making his arrangements and started shifting his attention back to the 2 gods, he suddenly discovered that Samsara's incoming group quickly adjusted their offensive formation and direction in response. Zhang Jinji was startled, but the 2 groups had already begun to clash. A huge cloud of magic undulations formed, instantly enveloping countless figures. Samsara had strong spellblades, similar to how tyrannical ambition had strong clerics. However, their strongest class was probably still their sharpshooters. Their sharpshooters were more outstanding than the featured classes of other guilds. It was simply because of Zhou Zekai's insane popularity. His influence not only increased the popularity of sharpshooters in Samsara, but the popularity of sharpshooters in all of Glory. Glory was a very balanced game, but that didn't mean the class distribution was completely balanced. The existence of the Pro Alliance affected players the most. An outstanding player made many players incorrectly think this class must be very strong. During Excellent Era's period of dominance, there was a saying in Glory, there are as many dogs as there are battle mages. Nowadays, Zhou Zekai's popularity increased the number of sharpshooters in Glory. The players, who became sharpshooters because of Zhou Zekai, were often fans of Zhou Zekai and Samsara. The most outstanding among the numerous sharpshooters appeared in Samsara. There were already too many sharpshooters in Samsara. Anymore and many of the guild's activities would start to get affected. More players meant more experts. The strength of Samsara's sharpshooters were indisputable. As a result, in their confrontation with tyrannical ambition, Samsara's offense came quickly and furiously. Sharpshooters attacked in the first wave. Spellblades attacked in the second wave. Although tyrannical ambition counterattacked, they clearly suffered the larger loss. Afterwards, Samsara's melee classes charged forward. They randomly walked in a circle and didn't even attack before retreating. Don't move. Zhang Jinji saw his players subconsciously step forward to chase. If they chased, their formation would crumble. However, if they didn't chase and traded blows with their long-ranged classes, they would be on the losing end. They couldn't rely on their clerics to carry them. If it were a one-on-one, it would work, but right now, tyrannical ambition could only deploy a limited amount of resources to each side. Not only did they need to defend against two powers, they also needed to deal with the wild boss. How patient. Wei Chen saw that tyrannical ambition's members didn't chase. After a moment of surprise, he followed up with a message to Three Realms Six Paths, Guild Leader, provide us with some cover. Have your mid-ranged and long-ranged classes coordinate with us. Okay, Three Realms Six Paths replied. As a result, another wave of attacks from Samsara pressured Zhang Jinji even more. Move the boss away in the 6 o'clock direction. Everyone press towards this side, Zhang Jinji quickly ordered. If the other side wouldn't come over, he could only have his own troops go over. Move to the left, Wei Chen immediately commanded. Samsara began to shift horizontally. Zhang Jinji was once again surprised at the turn of events. If he wanted to respond, his team would need to move in addition to rotate. However, his defenses for each side were arranged differently. Moving and rotating was too difficult for so many people. Many would certainly make mistakes in trying to maintain the formation, while moving. One too many mistakes and his opponents would instantly find an opportunity to break through. After all, his opponents were Yi Chu and Xiao Shikan. No. There was one more. Who was the person leading Samsara? Zhang Jinji didn't regard Samsara's tactics as mere coincidences. He was more willing to regard Samsara's movements as intentional and began to create countermeasures accordingly. But if this enemy commander was making these decisions intentionally, this commander was truly quite skilled. Baiting the enemy into making a mistake and then seizing that opportunity. Zhang Jinji suddenly felt his heart go cold. Baiting the enemy into a mistake and seizing that opportunity was the style that Team Blue Rain's Yu Wenzhou was most proficient in. It was this style, which created Glory's greatest opportunist, Huang Shaoshan. What was going on today? The other three master tacticians had allied together to teach him a lesson? Zhang Jinji felt dizzy. He started looking for any conspicuous warlocks among Samsara's troops, but when he looked at all the guild tags above their heads, he suddenly felt like something wasn't right. Wasn't Blue Brook Guild over there? Yu Wenzhou ran over to help Samsara? Did he finish eating and have nothing left to do? Could it be Yu Wenzhou was using the strength of another to do his dirty work? He would first borrow Samsara's strength to break through tyrannical ambition's defenses? The more Zhang Jinji thought about it, the more convoluted his thoughts became. Chapter 745. The difference in treatment. Zhang Jinji hadn't finished dealing with the opponents before him, when he began pondering over what to do with Blue Brook Guild. No matter how capable he may be, he truly didn't have the ability to cope with every side simultaneously. Let alone Blue Brook Guild. When he shifted his attention towards Samsara's movements, he no longer commanded the tyrannical ambition players behind him, resulting in them being unable to hold their own against the assault led by Yi Chu and Xiao Shikan. Zhang Jinji was unable to personally check Blue Brook Guild's movements, so he gave the task to Zhang Yu. Following afterwards, he immediately turned around to organize the troops behind him. Zhang Yu suddenly felt terrified when he heard that Blue Brook Guild might attack as well. Even he could tell that their formation was whirling around rapidly. After Samsara attacked, their complete and sturdy formation immediately started to fall apart, especially when Samsara started shifting to the side. Samsara began attacking their sides, while their defenses were unable to keep up. Even worse, Zhang Jinji needed to urgently deal with Yi Chu's troops at the same time. Zhang Yu's face dripped with sweat as he took over Zhang Jinji's position to lead this side. As the guild leader, he naturally had some skill of his own. He had a good understanding of Zhang Jinji's system. Zhang Jinji gave a few orders on that side and turned his head to organize this side. Not bad. Zhang Jinji approved of Zhang Yu's actions. He gave a few more detailed orders and then turned back around again to contend against Yi Chu's side. How long can this last? Zhang Yu felt even more worried, seeing Zhang Jinji's hurrying about. However, no matter how anxious he was, he couldn't think of any way to break out. Despite Zhang Jinji's desperate efforts, he still failed to regain control of the situation. If he didn't respond, it would be over. If he responded, perhaps there might be a chance. Unfortunately, Zhang Jinji's predictions played out as expected. The group tried to force a complex adjustment and, sure enough, numerous players made mistakes. The defensive formation quickly fell into disorder and could no longer resist against the enemy's assault. It was too early to give up though. For Zhang Jinji, this was just a loss for this stage in the battle. A professional match would go through several ups and downs. There weren't many situations where a single tactic would thwart the enemy completely. This situation was similar to a basketball match. It constantly went back and forth. The two teams would constantly switch tactics, finding a way to stabilize the situation or turn the situation around. In Zhang Jinji's eyes, the opening move of the match had gone quite well. The unexpected appearance of Xiao Shikan forced him to go on the defensive. After Zhang Jinji switched tactics, he steadied the situation. However, Samsara appeared, completely messing everything up. It was still too early to say that Tyrannical Ambition had lost though. If the boss's aggro was converted to numbers, Tyrannical Ambition was leading by quite a bit. However, in the next stage, the other side would probably be able to close the gap. Retreat in the 4 o'clock position. Leave the boss on the edge, Zhang Jinji gave a new order. This time, Zhang Jinji wanted to divert the enemy's attention. Everyone was here for the boss, not to wipe the other side out. Weren't the two enemies charging at them because they wanted to surround the boss? Now that Tyrannical Ambition withdrew and left the boss behind, what else would those two enemies do? After resisting for a long time, Tyrannical Ambition finally pulled back to the mountainside to let the tigers fight. He gave Samsara a choice as well. Samsara clearly knew that they could break through Tyrannical Ambition's defenses, so they did so, but now the leaders of the two enemy sides would see that Tyrannical Ambition was letting them fight each other, but what else could they do? Let the boss sit there and not take it? Ally together and annihilate Tyrannical Ambition? The latter choice sounded good, but it was unlikely to happen because of their relationships with each other and their frequent fights for bosses. It went just as Zhang Jinji predicted. The boss was left at the edges and the two sides set their eyes on the boss instead. After breaking apart Tyrannical Ambition's defenses, the two sides sent a group towards the boss. Fight. Let me have a good look at how you two fight each other. Zhang Jinji relaxed and spent some more time paying attention to Blue Brook Guild. It looked like Blue Brook Guild still didn't plan on making a move yet. For now, Samsara's enemy commander was still a mystery. That previous strategic decision conformed with Yu Wenzhou's expertise, but making a conclusion based off of a single move was too hasty. After all, such a tactic wasn't impossible to replicate as the synergy of the best duo. But even if Samsara's enemy commander wasn't Yu Wenzhou, he was certainly an expert. On Samsara's side, Vice Captain Zhang Batao was quite accomplished in tactics. That was something that he was completely capable of doing. Under Zhang Jinji's eyes, the two sides clashed with the boss at their intersection. Such a chaotic fight between so many made it difficult for even Zhang Jinji to see every detail clearly. Moreover, he quickly discovered that he didn't need to analyze the situation because Samsara had already lost. Samsara clearly had better elite troops and an outstanding commander, but when the two sides clashed, Heavenly Justice quickly swarmed the boss away. Samsara tried their hardest to snatch it back, but all of their efforts seemed meaningless. The other side easily neutralized all attacks and the boss was moved farther and farther away. Why is it like this? Zhang Jinji was having a hard time understanding. Samsara appeared way too weak in that moment. Where was the Samsara that thoroughly thwarted his defenses? How come they suddenly turned into jello when facing Yichu's troops? Why was there a huge difference in treatment? Could Samsara's performance previously have been coincidental? Zhang Jinji felt gloomy at this point. They couldn't keep waiting any longer. Tyrannical Ambition needed to attack at full force. Their current situation was different from before. Whichever side held the boss would be attacked on both sides. The pressure from two enemy sides, which Tyrannical Ambition had to resist before, would now shift over to Yichu's alliance. Tyrannical Ambition chased after them, but were blocked by Radiant and Parade shortly after. After fighting for a while, Zhang Jinji already knew that Xiao Shikan was commanding. For a moment, he felt his head hurt. Xiao Shikan was a defense-oriented tactician. Breaking through his defenses wouldn't be an easy feat. What about Samsara? We can help each other. Zhang Jinji looked for them and saw Samsara rushing over. Xiao Shikin's troops didn't seem to be planning on blocking Samsara. Why would Samsara waste time here then? They happily chased after the boss. For a moment, Zhang Jinji felt like he believed in his guess. He was afraid that he had truly made a mistake. Samsara didn't actually have any expert commander on their side. Perhaps the sudden appearance of Su Mucheng or Xiao Shikin caused his mind to lean towards such thoughts. He had been wary because of Samsara's flexible tactics, when in reality, there was actually nothing to be afraid. As a result, he had misunderstood, but Yi Chu hadn't. That was why he let Samsara go, because he believed that he could hold the boss while resisting Samsara's attacks. Zhang Jinji didn't know whether to laugh or cry at the reversal of circumstances. Yi Chu and Xiao Shikin had decided on the same strategy as his initial one. The alliance didn't care about a decisive victory over him. Xiao Shikin focused on leading the defense. As long as he could stall for enough time, Yi Chu's side would be able to finish off the boss. Although he could see through the other side's intentions, Zhang Jinji didn't dare to completely forego their defense and pour everything into attacking because his opponent was Xiao Shikin, who only cared about dragging out the battle. Xiao Shikin didn't need to care about doing anything else. However, Xiao Shikin didn't tend to be solely on defense. He was most adept at defending before counterattacking. Zhang Jinji couldn't neglect to take precautions, especially against Xiao Shikin. Behind the confrontation between Zhang Jinji and Xiao Shikin, Yi Chu led the other two guilds to defend against Samsara's attacks, while dealing with the boss. Yi Chu was at the forefront. His Let There Be Light and Su Mucheng's Chasing Haze created the spearhead of their team's attacks. Yes, they were completely on the offensive. They didn't bother defending and attacked instead. Their troops were slightly weaker than Samsara's, but their troops also had pro-level players, specifically the best pair. Samsara couldn't hold on. Samsara's guild leader, Three Realms Six Paths, was blaming himself deeply. Wei Chen consoled him on the side, "Don't take it to heart. This is just like a pro match. No one can ever be sure of the final outcome." Three Realms Six Paths side, "You broke apart Tyrannical Ambition's defenses and created an opportunity for us, but I wasn't able to grasp it firmly enough and let Heavenly Justice take it away. It was my mistake. Look clearly. Yi Chu must be leading that side. That battle mage called Let There Be Light. That one with the disgusting name. Yes, that's him. I'm sure everyone will understand," Wei Chen said. "Yes, that's definitely him, and that launcher. Could it be?" Three Realms Six Paths stared. "If it really is her, then there is no need to feel ashamed at all. How are we supposed to contend against King God? One day, maybe one of our champion players will come over and then we'll see who's arrogant." Wei Chen sounded indignant. Just when they said this, the two leaders were fleeing with their tails behind their backs. They weren't able to defend against such fierce attacks. The several players leading the assault were simply too powerful, especially that battle mage and launcher duo. Three Realms Six Paths felt like they were definitely Yi Chu and Su Mucheng. How do we do this? Three Realms Six Paths felt hopeless. He didn't realize that the person next to him wasn't putting in any effort at all.